So this is December 2019, and by this time we have managed to get the roofs on. I've got this garage, which is the garage for number 4, built because I specifically wanted to use it for storage, which we did for most of the build. It was a very large garage, and we were able to put plasterboard and all the various bits and pieces and sanitary ware and other items that were being delivered. We managed to put it in there, but at this stage of the game, as you can see, the surrounding area is full of rubble and rubbish, and we couldn't get lorries, so a lot of stuff obviously had to be carried into the garage. So the sand here is for the screeding of the floor in number 4. The tree that's just behind it, I kept for a long while, and my original intention was to have this tree left in the middle of the car park. I thought it would be really nice. We'd have sort of a nice curb going around it, and it would add some a feature to the car park. But when we finally got to the end, I realised that there wasn't enough space, and it was just impossible. It would be impractical for lorries and various other things to turn around and everything and negotiate the parking, so I had to remove it, sadly. Well, here we've got obviously the roofs on, and the scaffolding which was around the building entirely has been dropped. We did have scaffolding up to the area of the front elevation of this. This is number 4 at the back, but we took it away. It was just too difficult to work, and we intended to do the cladding, which they've got the battens up for the cladding. We intended to put the cladding up using towers, but in fact that proved to be too difficult because of the spanning over that porch. So we had to get some scaffold to actually allow us to get over the porch area. Quite difficult area, actually. The windows haven't been delivered yet, and they had the same problem obviously when they came to fit the windows, but we'd had scaffolding up there for them by then. This shows the rear of number 4. I mean, I'm concentrating on number 4 because a video that I'm going to show in a minute is number 4 as it stands now, complete. This is the last property that we completed. At this stage we were working fairly evenly on the outside of the properties, as you can see, with the scaffolding and all the roofing and the windows and everything and the cladding, but inside we were concentrating from the left-hand end of the building, as you look at it in this picture, which is the first house, so it's unit number 1. So we worked through the property. We completed number 1, in fact, and put it on the market. While then we were then working on the 2 flats, which are in the middle of the building, basically underneath where the tower is. 1 flat on the top floor and 1 on the bottom floor. And when we finally finished those, actually they were sold fairly quickly, and then we were finishing the inside of the interior of number 4, which is this end house on the right of the building as you're looking at it. And we've just finished it in the last few weeks. This is the area behind the number 4 unit, the last house, where there's now a canopy. This is before the canopy was built, and the concrete that's there, that's the original concrete which was there when the original building, the kennel, was there. The finished level is lifted up from that. On the right is the garage, which is for the garage for number 4, this last unit. This is the lounge of number 4, looking in from the bifold doors, and as you can see, we've got a split level floor here. There was a level originally in the building. We just moved it to make it more acceptable for the division between the lounge here and the dining area. And the wall on the left is the original wall that divided parts of the kennel up, and that is a load-bearing wall, and it's the party wall between the 2 properties. But I did actually add a brick wall, insulation and a brick wall in front of that, which is given much more sound deadening between the two properties. I think the interesting thing here is that trying to decide at this stage what we were going to do with the interior, and I was scratching my head quite a lot to work out because of the height, and I wanted to add a vaulted ceiling area in this bit where the photograph was taken, and there's a canopy, and you can see that later on in the finished product, as it were. So here's another view taken at the same time in the lounge. You can see that wall a bit better, and the pier on the left there. That pier was already there. It actually is the end of the original building, so I had to do something with it, and I covered it with some timber and various other things to make it a feature and of the room. On this side, one interesting factor here, I decided that I would put a door in at this point, as you can see, but I decided later that was not really necessary. I talk about it a bit more in the video in a minute of where we are today, but that was where there was a door, and I then subsequently bricked the bottom part in and turned it into a window. It seemed a good idea at the time, and not such a good idea a little bit later. As I say, that step down into the lounge from the dining and kitchen area was created, though there was a step at a different position in the original building, and then I added this wall coming in from what was that door there. So I had this idea of what I wanted it to look like, but there were a lot of problems because of the vaulting and the existing levels and the existing structure of the building. But I think the final effect that I ended up with was, I think, pretty good. Anyway, we'll see a bit in a minute. So this is the garage, and it's got a workshop, though at this stage it wasn't actually built. So it was just one complete garage at this stage, and we waited a bit before we put the cladding on that end piece. So we were using it basically now as a storage area, and it was used as storage area throughout the build. You can see actually how much the ground level has got to be brought up from what was the original ground level. Just looking at the same section at the back where we've got the garage that I've just been talking about, and the end of the building, which is number 4, the house number 4. That's what the bit that you see in front of you eventually turns into the driveway for number 4 and the car parking space for the whole development. The video shows me going up the scaffolding here and just looking at some of the bits that are around on the top of that porch that we were building. But then it goes around to the front and gives an indication. I've just cut in a few bits of deliveries. We had a delivery of sand and cement, which is for the screeding at the time for the floor in number 1. But it just gives an indication of the logistical problems that we were having with deliveries and the amount of people working on the site and so forth. Certainly different from what it's like now that it's finished. better move that bit of... Move the mixer around. Yeah. Had the mixer around here all the time for a while now. Okay, thank you very much. Well, here we are at the front of the building again, and you can see what a difference. This is the driveway that I've just been showing you when it looked like a building site. And there we've got the car parking space, which was all full of sand and rubbish. That tree in the middle got taken away. And there's the driveway for the house, the garage at the end. And I think we'll go in and have a look inside at this number 4. Okay. This is the entrance hall or vestibule area, whatever it's called, and a lot of features in here. Got cupboards and shelves here. In here we've got a key safe, and down below we've got a storage seat, as it were, so you sit down, take your boots off. It's all tiled inside, so clean it out easy. And there's a lot of LEDs in this house. As we walk in, I'll put the light on here and you'll see the LEDs coming on the left there above the coat hooks. There's LEDs up there, and then there is a bigger light up the top. So we've got beams across the room there. Those older beams, of which there are a lot of them upstairs on the ceiling, they are from the original building. So they're cosmetic, but they are from the original building. A lot of features like the tongue and groove that I put in there, and so quite a lot going on in this little area. Then immediately to the right we've got a cloakroom. So this has got a tongue and groove, another feature, and all the doors here are closed. Absolutely lovely. This has got a big storage cupboard here, heated towel rail. This house is well catered for toilets. It's actually got 6 toilets in this house. It's got 4 showers and 1 bath. So it's pretty well catered in that area. So we go into the hallway, and we have to our left here, first of all, this little cupboard, and this is basically sort of a utility type cupboard. There's storage, we've got the breaker units, and this is the hot water system, which is a very modern system. It's electric, and this is all the hot water for the house, and there are no storage tanks, no heating boilers or anything like that. What happens is this has got batteries in it, and the batteries are charged and kept charged when it's on, and you can adjust the heat, and the water is heated on demand, so you've got constant hot water as long as there's power in the batteries. Even if you turn the power off in the house and there's no power whatsoever, you'll still have hot water because it runs off the pressure from the mains, and as long as the batteries have power, and it lasts for quite a long while actually. After you turn the power off, you can still have hot water for some time, for days actually. So that's quite handy, and that is quite convenient, and it's very very small and out of the way. Anyway, that's the cupboard. In the house here, just as a design feature, all the doors are the same, but all the doors that relate to cupboards or closets have got round knobs on them, china knobs with roller balls. And all the doors that lead to rooms have got lever handles. In here, right, this was a study originally when I first planned it, but it was such a big room that I decided that I'd add a shower room in it and make it into a study stroke bedroom. So it is effectively the fourth bedroom in the house, or a study. So it's quite a nice room. It's unusual. Again, we've got the little shape on the floor there because of the shower room, and the shower room is beautiful. There we go. And it's got heated towel rail and quite a few features. A pleasant little room. Right, so that's the first bedroom, as it were. So the rest of the hall. Got shelves up there. I put a lot of features into the room with this wood, yellow pine. So all this wood is yellow pine. It's extremely hard wood. It's though it's pine, it's from the United States, I think from the southern parts of the United States, naturally. And it is extremely hard. It's almost like a hardwood. Very difficult to work with, I found it. Very difficult to sand and even to drill into. So it's a lovely wood. I think one of its inherent problems is twisting. So we had to be careful with that. But I used it, for example, on all the architrave. And all the architrave is all made up from the board that I bought. I bought this yellow pine in big board form, and cut these pieces down, ripped them down, and then I routed all this effect and made the architrave up. Then I tried to match a few things we found, like the lights up there with similar sort of wood. In some of these places in this house, I put this little wood coving around, just to add to it and break where the color changed. Over here we've got a laundry room. Put a light on. So this is a laundry room. Now the laundry room is also a slight addition to the kitchen, because we've got storage shelves in here. But also we've got a freezer in here. So the freezer is here. There's actually 2 freezers in the house. We've got a freezer in the kitchen and this freezer in here. There's storage underneath, and then there is a dryer and clothes washing machine, and a heated towel rail. That's quite a sweet little utility room, quite practical, with butler sink and wooden worktops. A lot of work went into this. A lot of work. Okay. Now, when we first built the house, we had a sort of a design of the outside, and that's about it. We didn't really know what we were going to do inside, and I had a lot of moments trying to think, long moments trying to think of what I was going to do. And one of the problems with this was the staircase, where originally I'd planned for the stairs to go up on that side, go across on the half landing, and then go up there. But they would then be going up against the window, and it didn't make the floor up above work well. So I changed it and had it the way it is. And then I had this bit of ceiling sticking out, so I put the pier in take the support that bit of floor up above. And originally you could walk around the pier, but I thought that was a waste of space, so I bricked that little wall in there and made this storage area under the stairs, which I'm very pleased with. So we've got this area under the stairs here. It's got a safe and some storage there, and it goes underneath there. So that's the under the stairs storage. And I think while we're here, we'll just go upstairs. So a lot of work went into this stairwell. We've got tiles on the wall. I was originally planning to have this wall in front of us here all brick, but there were a lot of considerations. One of them was that, of course, we would be losing too much space because bringing the bricks out will bring this wall forward. So I went with these tiles in the end to give that sort of effect. And then I split it halfway so I could have a storage shelf. This is an oak staircase that we fitted ourselves. We ordered it online and fitted it ourselves. This is also another feature that I added at the last minute, which is the handrail and spindles against the wall. They're all screwed in. I had some handrail left over from the 4 properties and some spindles, so I decided, just had enough to do that. The stairwell is a lovely room. It's a lovely space up here, very atmospheric, quiet. There's a fan humming in the background, switches on down there, and that is bringing fresh air in through that grill up there, fresh air from outside. You can turn it on and off, obviously, and you just got fresh air coming in, especially on days like this when it's very hot here. The lighting in here is also involved with LEDs, so we've got a couple of options, or a number of options here with lighting. First of all, the wall lights. There's one single wall light here, which can be turned on and off individually, just that one. And then we've got a wall light over here and a wall light that lights the stairwell. When they work on this one, this switch here, so you've now lit the stairwell and the landing, and then you can turn them off downstairs. So if you come out in the dark, you put the lights on, turn them off downstairs, they're two-way, or do the same coming up. But in addition, we've got two banks of LEDs. So up on the shelves there, we've got LEDs. I'll turn them on. And there we go. So we've got the LEDs up there. There's one bank on the left, one on the right, and the one on the right also goes along in front there. So at night, that is really nice. You can actually have those on at night, and it lights this whole landing and stairwell up really well. Also, there's an additional lot of lighting of LEDs, which is that one above the, or just below the mural that I did. Now that mural is made up of, that was scrap pieces of the yellow pine that were lying around. I collected them and cut them up into cubes and made that mural up there. So that's the LEDs. And the timbers, again, as I say, on the ceiling are the originals from originally from the building, but they are cosmetic, and they've actually been cut down from the original size. The yellow pine beam across the middle is actually not a real beam, because there is a steel underneath it that is actually taking the roof, and then the yellow pine is cladding that. Up above there is a large loft space. There's a number of them up here, and that's the largest, that one up there, and it goes in through that door, and you can stand up. It's completely boarded out. It's got electricity, so it's got power up there, sockets, and it's got lights and it's a very useful additional storage space, or almost like a room. You can stand up in it actually. Right, and then this landing is, as I say, is a very lovely area. You could just sit here and very peaceful with the views out to the fields. So it's a lovely space. Then you come into the right here, and it's the first of the bedrooms. There are two bedrooms that are basically the similar size, and this one, first of all, we've got a closet here, and the closet's has got lights. It's also got electricity. It's got power socket, and the floors are tiled so that, you know, if you've got shoes and dirt and everything, you can clean it quite easily. And then you come into the bedroom here, and it's got a vaulted ceiling. I tried to make a bit of a feature to break up the walls by putting out a little shelf up above and try to make it a little bit more interesting. Then it's got its own shower room. Let's have a look. Put the lights on. So this is the shower room. It's that's a heater there, and it's not a. We were going to put a towel rail in here, but I discovered afterward that I decided to put the door on this, hanging on the right here, and I couldn't get the towel rail in, so we found this slimline heater which we put in. So it's got a shower and lights in the alcove there for soap and everything. Got shutters. Because of the view is so lovely here that I decided not to have frosted or obscure glass in here. I put clear glass in and then put the shutters in so that you could use those if you wanted to, if you didn't want to have nets or anything. But it's lovely here because there's not really anyone around, and you've got this beautiful view. And then you've got the dado and everything, which is quite a nice little shower. It's a lovely little room actually. Okay, and that's one bedroom. And then we've got the landing cupboard with a little door. And there again we've got lights in here, and we've got power down there, so if you wanted to have a vacuum cleaner that needed power, you can plug that in. And then we come into this bedroom, and this is another interesting bedroom with lots of features in it. Let's have a look over here. So we've got, starting at the top actually, we've got vaulted ceiling of course, and then we've got in the center there, I decided to punch that space through and put glass in. So you've got a shelf each side, as it were, a shelf in the landing, in the stairwell, and a shelf here, and it gives that light. You've got light coming in from the stairwell into this bedroom, which makes it a lot, better in the day, and not so claustrophobic with the tall ceilings. But you've got two loft spaces each side, storage spaces. They're completely boarded out. They've got power in them, and they've got lights, so they're quite useful. Then you've got shelves over there, and sort of work or vanity top with a cupboard underneath. So there again we've got lights here. So lights up here. And we've got a cupboard underneath. And we've got a wardrobe or closet. And there again, this has got lights. And it's got tiled floor, and it's got power as well. So you've got everything in that one. And then over here, we've got the shower room. Another big, rather attractive shower room. Plenty of room in here. It's not small by any means. Got a heated towel rail. And this one has all the doors here click lovely. Every single door just closes beautifully, like cars doors, the expensive car door that thuds and lovely. This house has got these expensive doors that are solid and very heavy, and they just close really nice. And this shower has got a sliding door, and all the showers have got these little alcoves for soap and everything. So that's another bedroom with another shower room. Very nice. Okay, and then let's go and look at the last bedroom. So this is the third bedroom upstairs, and then there's one downstairs. So we've effectively got 4 bedrooms, and they're all ensuite. They've all got showers. This is probably the master bedroom. It's bigger, and it's got the bigger bathroom. It is a bathroom. It's got a bath in it. So this bedroom is lovely. It's got a big closet with storage space, and it's got storage. 2 cupboards up the top there. Behind those wooden doors, there's storage up there, sort of occasional storage, because obviously it's high up, you've got to get up there, but it is somewhere to put things and hide them away, I suppose. And then we've got this vanity workshop unit or whatever, work site. That's there again. This has got lights in it, and it's got a cupboard underneath, tiled floor, shelf and everything. And it's got a very nice closet, sliding door, this one, and it's got a light, and it's got two shelves, and it's got power, of course, as well, and tiled floor as all the others have. So that's the cupboard, and then we've got the main bathroom with its large freestanding bath, and 2 different colored tiles in here. This one has a bath and it has a shower. There again, this shower is it's got a folding door. So it's very nice master bathroom. I think this one would be considered. Okay, let's have a look downstairs at the lounge and garage and kitchen. Now this one's got also a shelf running up above there with you could store stuff or display stuff, and of course it's got the vaulted ceiling with the beams again, timbers. So that's the upstairs, which is got 3 ensuite bathrooms and a number of lofts. One of them a major size loft, and it's and a lovely landing, which could be considered almost an additional room. So we'll go downstairs and have a look at the lounge. The house comes completely fitted, it's kitted out with every appliance and carpeted. Now, you notice that the flooring in this part of the house, which is this plank effect wood, is at an angle. It runs at the angle of the entrance to that bedroom. But when we go in here, it's changed. We've got 2 different ways of the planking going. There is a step down here. This is a step down that was seen earlier in this video, and because I wanted to make sure that people realized that there was a step there, I tried to do everything that I could to make that obvious. So we've got the change in the direction of the wood. We've got a wood verge step tread, as it were, at the end, and then in the lounge the planks run the other way, and they're slightly different color as well. So it's sort of to hit you, so you know that there's something different there. Lots of little features, by the way, that we tried to think into. One of them is these little rubber things that we put on the wall, because these handles were in danger of banging and damaging the wall. So we put those on there. Right. Now in here, let's start with this, the dining area. We've got this little cabinet there that I made with glass shelves to display. We've got the wall light, and we've got, then we come into the kitchen. So the kitchen is goes around the corner. Let's have a look. We've got cooker, more lights. We've got so it's got a fridge, and then it's got the other freezer. So there's one freezer in here and one freezer in the laundry room. Storage, range master. It's got a wine cooler. It's got a microwave, and it's got a heated towel rail over there, and it's got a dishwasher. The dishwasher is, we're just in the process of installing it. That's why it's sitting like that. So that will be installed in the next day, really, I think. Probably do that tomorrow. And there we are, lots of features. We've got beams on the ceiling, timber, brick wall, lots and lots of features here. And then we step down into the lounge, and the lounge has its own share of features. First of all, these are bifold doors, and they open all the way across, and that becomes one big area. Or you can obviously have smaller opening. You can have one door open at the end, or then two of them, or whatever. So that's quite good. And if you remember the pictures that were in this video at the beginning, you'll see the difference in this area. That over there in the corner where the seat is now was originally a door, which I then decided that was not necessary, so I changed it into a window, and then I decided to put this seat underneath it. And the seat has storage underneath, which is all tiled out so that it can be cleaned, and it's clean to put things in. So that's the seat. You can sit here, rest your arm on the ledge, and you've got these shutters here. So that's the feature, as it were. And then if you look over here, you'll see that view that was earlier on in the video with the party wall, which I've now put another brick wall in front of. So there's quite a lot of sound insulation between this property and the other one. And then, of course, there's the step down into the lounge from the dining room. I extended the little brick section along in front of that wall, and so I could put that wooden shelf on top of it just to add a bit more of a feature. And I put those brick sections there that stick out, the courses there that stick out, and they match the width of the beam. And of course there was a steel up there, so I had to decide what to do with it. So I decided to put this great big beam in, turn it into a wooden feature. So I've got the rough timber, sawn timber up above, yellow pine underneath, sawn timber up above. That's a scaffold pole that I put in. I wanted to add something that would give it, because it is actually a converted barn, so it's got that sort of slightly industrial look of being a barn, and the sawn timber effect is in the windows as well. Now originally, when we first built it, the windows were not planned to be there. Then I decided when we started to get it built that it was not light enough in here, so I put the two windows up above. And the reason that came about was when we put the canopy in, because the canopy steals so much light. The canopy that extends out, make this little terrace out here, and that steals so much light. And so anyway, let's have a look outside this area that we've made. So out here we've got a terrace, little terrace, which has got wood decking. And we've got lights out here, and we've got power out here as well down there. So there's power sockets. That switch there switches the lights on in the garage, so that if it's in the dark you can get to the garage, because you turn the garage lights. There's 3 outside lights on the garage that you can turn on from here. There we go, and turn them off, and then of course you can do the same from the garage. The area down the bottom is either going to be AstroTurf or real turf, depending on what the new buyer wants. Let's have a look at the garage. So we're still working on the garage, just finishing off the decoration. So in the side here we've got a workshop, or it could be used as anything really, an office or anything. It's got it as it was intended originally as a workshop. There are 4 double power sockets here, 2 on that wall. We've got 1 there, and we've got 1 on the end. So there's a lot of power sockets in here, and makes a lovely. It's tiled floor, so you could use it for an office or something. It's a very nice room. And it's got the added luxury, rather, well, these beautiful doors, but it's got the added luxury of a little WC, a little toilet with hot water. The hot water on this one is coming from this combi boiler, little electric boiler. But you've got a sink, and you've got a nice little place to hide away. So that's a good little workshop. Now inside here we've got the garage, which we're just in the process of trying to complete. But as you can see, it's a very large garage, echoes. Just got the ceiling that I'm working on to finish, and the floor, which has got to be sorted out and then painted. The garage doors, there's 2 of them. They're electric. I'll show you how they work. There's the fob. So they're electric. And okay, let's have a look outside. Right, so out here you can recognize a lot of this from the picture of the place when it was 2.5 years or 3 years ago, and it was a building site. We've got the canopy and the little terrace area, and the garage has got water on the outside and power there, and a lovely big driveway, a place for bins there. You could put gates across, and then you would be quite private. But there is not really anything going on around really, because it's all fields around here. And then to that side, this is south. That's south that way, and then the woods are there, and that's basically this house. And it's taken, well, the whole project's taken about 6 years. And anyway, this is the parking areas here. I've got parking here for one of the flats, and parking in the other flat. So the 2 flats park their cars there. They've got water and electricity that go back to their own property. That shed is a bicycle shed, but it also holds the electricity for the outside areas, for the treatment plant, sewage treatment plant for the development, and all the electricity for these lights, etc. That little terrace area there inside, just a small bit, it belongs to the top flat. So the ground floor flat has their own little terrace at the back of their flat, and the top floor flat has got that. So, you know, all the 4 properties have got outside areas, obviously. So that is it. So at the beginning of this video, where all this was a building site here, you can see that we've done a lot of work to develop the infrastructure of the outside area, and that's the building. It's completed state. There's two doors there. Obviously one on the left is to the top floor flat, and there's big windows up there, and the one on the right is the ground floor flat. And the bin store there is for the two flats, because obviously the bin stores for the houses are in their driveways or whatever. And then we've got the number 1 house, and then we've got, if you remember the video of the lorry and delivering all the sand and cement, and you can see now what we've done to the front to make this much better area. We've got parcel boxes, letter boxes. That's that large parcel bin there, boxes for everyone, so that any big parcels that come, they can just put them in there. And then you've got letters there for each of the different houses. The area over there is for bins themselves. So on bin day, they can put their bins for collection out there instead of having them in the road. And that's the number 1 house, the first house we completed, which has been sold about 6 months ago. Okay, oh, and these are my gates, because we're going to develop our property, but I made the gates to match the houses with the same cladding. And that's it.